This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. It is not intended to cause or induce breach of an existing agency agreement.
This is the Victoria Real Estate Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Victoria Real Estate Podcast, where we discuss everything Victoria Real Estate. I'm Adrian Maclaren, and I'm here with my co-host, Vincent Baart.
Normally I say Vincent Baart.
I'm sorry, Vince.
That's okay.
We're realtors on the City S team at Remax Camosun in Oak Bay in Victoria. Today we're joined by Alexandra Graham, founder and principal designer of Alexandra Graham Interiors, a boutique interior design and custom cabinetry studio here on Vancouver Island. Alexandra and her husband Tommy run a husband and wife team specializing in custom kitchen millwork and full interior transformations. In just a couple of years since launching their business, they've built strong reputation through referrals, built their relationships, and beautifully detailed projects. Alexandra, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, Alex, for listeners who may not know you yet, can you give us a little bit of a background, personal, and then kind of how you got into interior design?
Absolutely, yeah. So I was born on Quadra Island, BC, small little town just across from Kelm River. And basically, since I was a little 4-year-old, I've been moving furniture around in my bedroom, re-wallpapering our walls, painting, anything I could get my hands on. And just from a young age, just really into decorating, redesigning, reconfiguring, repurposing. And it wasn't until I was just finishing high school when my mom applied me to the Pacific Design Academy and said, you need to go and do this elswhere. And so I went down to Victoria and did the design program. Got my diploma in interior design and kind of just took off from there.
Awesome. Can you give me a little snapshot of your childhood bedroom? Like, what were we talking here? Are we talking stars on the ceiling?
Sounds like it was changing all the time.
Yeah.
Every year.
The latest trends?
Every year. I don't know if it was trends. I wouldn't say it was trendy. My mom would drag me to the wallpaper store, or I guess I would drag her. And it was like, I'm talking two-tone, like one wallpaper at the top, no border, just wallpaper at the bottom. So black polka dots, sunflower border wallpaper, and then pink on top. Like I had everything.
Wow, that sounds quite fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What made you decide to start your own company instead of continuing to work, I guess, just, for a company in interior design?
I would say I had a really good foundation working under other people and working for different companies. I learned a lot. Basically just felt pulled to give our clients just a little bit more of a unique service, and just being able to really be personal, a little bit more personal with the clients. And just, yeah.
So you were kind of working and then you felt maybe constrained. You're like, I kind of want to do it this way, or like.
I just felt like we needed more. The other driving factor truly was the cost of goods. We felt like shipping things from across the country and different provinces was really driving the prices up for kitchens, along with higher overheads, showrooms, vehicles, things like that. So we really just felt like, let's try and find a local product with all Canadian source materials, no showroom, no fancy marketing. It's just kind of lower overhead and just really simple. And then we basically pass that on to the clients. Yeah. So we're able to give them a higher quality product, locally sourced, for a little bit less money than some of the bigger guys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's amazing. So when you say locally sourced, you say it's Canada, Vancouver Island, like are we using the trees that are getting cut down for the Crystal Pool project for cabinets, or where are these trees coming from?
Well, not always trees. So we use all different materials. But basically our shops, we have two. We have a shop in Metchosin and a Shawnigan Lake shop.
That's one heck of a commute.
It's not bad.
No, really?
No,
okay.
it's,
all right.
It's easy because the cabinetry gets built and then it gets wrapped in blankets and then shipped directly to the client's home. Mm. So there's no packaging, there's no garbage recycling. That's all, again, overhead. Somebody's paying for that. So we're keeping things out of the landfill, which is important to us.
No styrofoam, peanuts everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Little to no waste. Yeah. And then where the trees are cut, we do source a lot of Canadian materials. Some of them do come from across the border in terms of like unique species, but we do a lot of Canadian oak is a very popular wood species. We use a premium walnut from Canada, and then a lot of the other materials are locally sourced from the island and Vancouver.
Right.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, but the actual boxes are built in Machosen and Shawnigan Lake and assembled. Everything is assembled locally.
Cool.
Wow. There's one part we just kind of glossed over, and that's the fact that you run a business with your spouse. And it's something that I know a lot of realtors out there are husband and wife teams. And I'm just curious, what's that been like? How do you divide responsibilities and how do you make that work?
I design, he installs.
Okay.
That was easy.
That's it.
Okay.
It's so simple.
No hiccups.
Clearly defined roles and
It's
expectations.
very defined. That was completely on accident. When we started the company, he was kind of taking a back seat. He was doing the dad thing. We had bought a puppy. He was kind of taking the summer off, and we were really trying to figure out what we're going to do. What is this going to look like? And initially, we had installers lined up for each job. So I had an installer coming on the Monday, so on and so forth. And on one of our first bigger kitchens after opening the company, the installer called in sick. And I was like, this is not happening. Like the
Not an
West Shore
option.
moms need a good kitchen when we say it's going to be
Yes,
installed. And so basically I said to my husband, you need to go and install this kitchen. And he's completely capable. He's built parts of our houses. We've renovated together a lot. And he's like, okay. So we bought some tools, bought the best blades that we could.
Amazing.
And we basically sent him to site, and he loved it. He was slow, but he loved it. And so we basically put him on the next job after that, and the clients just adored him. And I knew right away this was a full-time thing for him.
So it almost kind of just happened by accident.
100%.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's been the best thing. And then again, not paying a premium for installers that may or may not show up has been a huge game changer for
And
us.
probably also just the consistency as well versus
Absolutely.
like getting a different installer when they're available in different jobs. And now you have like this consistent product being offered. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
and one of the owners is 100% always in the home.
Yeah.
So there's nobody
Right.
else. So
the client experience is so well managed from the whole sales process right to that
yes,
final end.
exactly. Again, that will really personal touch because we have such a unique service.
Yeah. So you launched a company only about, 2-3 years ago? Is that right?
2 years, yeah.
ago?
We just hit the 2-year mark in April.
Awesome. But it's grown quickly. So what do you think has been the biggest driver of, or what do you owe all your success to?
I would say probably relationships.
Yeah.
Building relationships with clients is most important. Friends, family, realtors.
Yeah.
And then, of course, repeat clients. We've got a lot of repeat business, even from 10, 11 years ago. People are still Googling my name, finding us. So it's kind of nice. It's been really good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's actually how me and Alex met. I helped a client buy a new home. They obviously needed to do a big reno, and so they had a party after, and that's how we met there. But they were raving all about Alex. Like, you have to meet her. She's amazing. So all these great things.
They were
Super
raving
fans.
about you too.
Yeah. And so what do you think has surprised you the most or has been the most challenging about running your own design business?
I would say surprising was the amount of stress that has come off of us, which is weird to say.
Wait, so it's less stressful?
It is.
Huh.
I know it's weird. I work
Yeah.
a lot less. Again, we've simplified everything. So it's so direct. It's either me in the shop or me and the client.
Yeah.
And so it's very streamlined. There's no in-betweens, and that's where a lot of the headaches used to be. I felt like I was in damage control and service before, and now I truly am just designing and servicing the clients.
Right.
So that's probably been the best thing. Time freedom is probably another surprising thing.
That is
I have.
surprising because I feel like anyone that owns their own business, that's like the number one complaint is they're like, I thought I was going to get freedom out of this.
Yeah. Or like I was tired of working for one person, and then like most self-employed people are like, oh great, now you're going to work for like you have 50 bosses.
But I do have amazing clients.
I was going to
honestly.
say,
That
I
helps.
feel like I've noticed that. I feel like you, because of the relationship side of your business, you
Yeah.
obviously have these people that are almost like friends or family that you're working with.
And if they're not, they will be at the end.
Okay, exactly. So when a client comes to you wanting to like kind of renovate their kitchen or transform their home, what does the process typically look like from start to finish?
Do we have all day? I really like to start the process with an initial site consultation. I think
Yeah.
it's important to see the home, see the space, and how they live. Like, what's the lifestyle like? Who cooks? Who cleans? I really like to get in the space and get to know the client. From there, there's a design fee that we agree on, and that includes full set of drawings. So it'll be a floor plan, elevations, dimensions, and then very realistic renderings with the help of AI, which has been a game changer for us.
Yeah.
To be be able to show everybody exactly what they're getting before they can commit. Once they've tweaked the design and it's perfect, we then do another measure. And then we basically send it up to our shop. It goes through some engineering processes with the shop owner and myself, and we kind of just get it into the queue.
Yeah.
From then, it gets shipped directly to the client's home, and that's when Tommy and I meet them on site, and Tommy starts doing his magic.
Okay. Awesome.
So we're hand-holding right to the end, though. It doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
The countertops get installed once the cabinet boxes are in, and then there's usually a 2-week delay for the lead time of the countertops, and then the countertop go in, plumbing, and we basically see it right through to the backsplash.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, well, actually, that's a good question maybe. So Tommy's doing this install, but then there's also probably plumbing work and then additional finishing work. Is he doing the whole thing or whole package, or do you guys bring in extra other trades?
We have trades. So we use ticketed electricians, ticketed plumbers. He was a mechanic. So we use ticketed tradesmen. And generally we have a couple of contractors that we like to use. Sometimes the contractor's already on the job from the client. So we're always working with new trades as well.
Right.
So we work with everybody. We do not do the plumbing. We are not allowed to. Basically, we're not liable. So
how hard could it be?
He can do it. It's not. It's he's fully capable, but it has to be a ticket. We like to use a ticketed plumber for insurance purposes.
Of course.
And then when you go to sell your home, you're not going to get that question mark.
100%.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
we get that a lot when we're going into renos. We're like, somebody not ticketed did the job.
Yeah, and you can tell.
You can definitely tell.
Yeah, wow. So it's really easy when we're talking like high level. What does a project look like? What are the steps in the process? But I know for a lot of people listening, they've thought about hiring a designer. They're not really sure, like, how does a budget usually work? There's so many variables. So I'm wondering if you could walk us through maybe how the budget could work on, say, the average home. So let's just say, a 1960s home, 2,000 square feet. You mentioned West Shore. So I'm guessing your average project is in a slightly newer home than 1960s, would you say?
No, completely opposite.
Okay.
I basically live in Oak Bay in Upland for work. We do everything.
So let's walk through, let's say, a 2,000 square foot home, 4 bedrooms, maybe it has a basement suite, probably not, 1960s-ish, so it's probably had 2 kitchen renovations. Can you walk us through the ballpark of what that would look like? How long does it take? And what are some of the, we're trying to remove some of the variables. So again, it's not going to be a specific quote, but what would that project look like for a house of that size?
You're not going to hold me to it?
Yeah, no, but also I feel like maybe even if you could touch on a budget reno for like a kitchen suite, you know what I mean? And then maybe like what the high end looks like. So there's that range.
And we do touch on all those budgets. We have some product that we can use for a suite that's going to be a little bit less expensive, still high quality, low maintenance, so easy to keep clean. It's not going to scratch. Something like that in a smaller suite, you're looking around like 15 grand, 10 to 15 grand, properly done though. So I don't design anything that's not functional.
Right.
You're going to have drawers, you're going to have accessories if it's needed, you're going to have pullouts. It's not going to be full height doors where you have to reach down. So we do design very intentionally. Upstairs is where you're going to want to put more of the money because that is the heart of the home. And I would say on an average 1960s bungalow, like you mentioned, something like that, I would say cabinetry, you're looking like $35,000 for cabinetry. I would ballpark around the $10,000 mark for countertops. That's not including flooring, countertops, plumbing, and then lighting, all of that. So when we talk budget, we can talk cabinetry, countertops, and then we can also talk full construction because there's very different budgets. So if someone says I have $70,000, I'm like, oh gosh. Is that for the full reno or is that for me for cabinetry and countertops? Because that's what I specialize in. Yeah. And so it's really just, again, sitting down with the client in their home and really getting to know what they're wanting and what's feasible. So and that's the initial.
You can do as little or as much as you want and it really will kind of work out differently.
Well, and sometimes if it's really not obtainable, if their budget is low and I know they're not going to be able to do that, I'm very honest with the client. I'll say, like, we joke around about doubling the budget and doubling the timeline. And people you'd think they'd be like, oh my God, double the budget. They're like, we'll do it. So it's just really setting those clients up for success by setting the expectations. 100%. Yeah.
That's awesome. So to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty, when you're setting up billing is it based on time, materials, overall project? Is it a percentage? Is it a design setup fee? What can a client expect when they're working with you?
So basically, they're paying for my initial time for the design. That can be anywhere between $3,500 plus GST, upwards of $5,000 for like a decent size, larger kitchen. If you're looking for the whole home, because often we do custom millwork, vanities, built-ins, wine rooms. There's a lot of storage that can be done. Then you're really into a custom packaged price where it's going to be definitely custom to that particular job. We also can work hourly, but it doesn't really work out for the client. We like to do a bit of a package price. And then basically they're buying the kitchen from us. So we own the kitchen, we've designed it, we've purchased it, and then we sell it to them.
Right.
So they're paying for our design time, and then they're paying for materials. Yeah.
Makes sense. And then maybe on like a per case basis, like what are some ways that clients that have saved money by working with you?
I would say mistakes.
Yeah, okay.
What's an example of a mistake?
Yeah.
Like, are we talking like, we cut the wrong counter size and we have to charge you for it? Or is it a poor design? Like,
That's actually a good question. Yeah. A lot of people will, I mean, buying the wrong type of countertop. I see quite often if they have a guy, they want to do it, they'll buy quartzite thinking it's quartz, but quartzite can stain. It's a porous material.
Right.
So then they're kicking themselves and then they're having to replace it. Whereas I would have said, oh my gosh, don't go quartzite. You have small children and you like using hair dye in your kitchen or something. It's just, setting people up for success, I would say would be one big reason why we save people money. And again, us having low overhead, I think that's just the number one thing is having the low overhead. They're not paying for advertising, marketing, showroom, samples, everything. We just come right to the house with whatever we need.
And then what would be some common mistakes homeowners make when like planning a renovation before they even talk to a designer? Like, are you coming in sometimes like with people who are like, listen, we tried doing this and it didn't work out and
fix it?
Yeah, I would say if my big pet peeve is when they've purchased appliances before they've talked to a designer.
Oh, okay.
That and then putting budgets together with just the builder. No offense to builders, but sometimes the builder budget doesn't line up with the client expectations.
Right.
And then it almost feels like you almost let them down speaking budget because they're like, oh, that's not what our contractor said. So it's really, again, just being transparent. Getting the designer in at the earliest possible point is going to make the job easier for everybody, and it probably will save the client money in the end, not having to rebuy appliances.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm curious, so then in the timeline, so they're looking at a house, they're like, yeah, we should buy it. Oh, how much is this going to cost? That might be a quick phone call where you're just saying, hey, okay, it's a 10 by 15 kitchen. You want, similar layout to what's currently there. Okay, here's a ballpark. And then once they've closed, they've got keys, maybe they've even been using the kitchen for a little while. Mm-hmm. That's when you're coming in and doing your like deep consulting where you're asking about how they want the flow of the kitchen to work around their lifestyle.
Absolutely. And I always tell my realtor friends and family, like, hand out my phone number, use us if you can, let us help you guys. And let us set that ease of like, no, this is a good investment. This kitchen's going to be beautiful. It'll be only $25,000 or $50,000. You don't need to pour in $500,000. So we can definitely give some just quick high-level ballparks so that people can know, is this a good purchase or not? We do that quite a bit.
Because I mean, that's actually something that I run into where, we're walking through a space and they're like, like if only the kitchen was like a bit newer. And then I'm like, I don't want to just put out a random number.
Totally.
Like,
don't do that. See, that's the mistake.
Yes,
that's the mistake.
Exactly. So then that's where Alex will come in. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So give us a call. You can call us and then we can educate you and then you can look like the hero coming in going, oh, this is what it's going to cost.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of nice.
And then what about how important would you say like planning the layout is compared to like things like finishing and aesthetics? Layout's
definitely number one.
Yeah.
I'm a function girl. We live a high-paced life. We want everything to be as functional as possible. It has to look nice in the end, but it's definitely function's more important for sure.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of want to get into trends. What are the biggest trends you're seeing right now, like in the industry? I know the one I'm hearing the most in furniture and in kitchens or just home aesthetics is MLM. Or no, what is it? Sorry. Modern, oh geez, I'm blanking.
Oh,
MCM.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, MCM. There it is. So I don't know if that's one, or maybe you can touch on what the trends that you're seeing, and then which trends do you think that people are using right now that are going to look dated in 5 years? Do you have any opinions on that? Bring it.
I actually don't follow the trends very closely. I am a very timeless designer. Again, I'm a lot in Oak Bay, Uplands, North Saanich. So we're looking at doing homes that are not going to be renovated again for 20, 30, 40 years. So we have to do it once and we have to do it right. We don't want it to look dated. So we're looking at timeless, high function, very durable product. In terms of trends, we're definitely steering away from that ultra polished look like we used to have. It's definitely a little bit more earthy and lived in, and just carefully, I hate the word curated, but it's just people are finding more things that they like as a little bit more eclectic. Things that I think are going to go out, I hate to say it, the arches, the curved pieces with the ribbing, I think it's going to go out.
You're talking like curves in drywall or
Drywall.
curved cabinets?
You're not even up to the trend yet.
Out of the loop.
I thought that was like an old trend, but it came back.
It does come back. Trends do. It's cyclical,
Yeah.
exactly. But we try and kind of go in that timeless. There's a fine line between making it look updated and giving the client what they love, because that's so important. But then for me, being a lot in real estate, we try not to make things too custom, too trendy, because it's going to be resold and you don't want to have to renovate again and again. It makes your job harder.
Yeah, we appreciate that, because when we
You're
go
very welcome.
we go to maybe some eclectic styled homes, and great for that specific person, like you said. But when you go to sell to the masses, they're like, can I really envision myself living in this?
Well, and it's tough too, because you'll see kitchens that were renovated maybe 15, 20 years ago, and a lot of people, they go in and they say, it's so dated, I have to replace all this. So it's difficult, because the functional life of a kitchen, really, as long as your countertops aren't giving out on you, like you could probably go like 40 years.
If there's good function.
If there's good function and it was built with, good stuff and not the cheap stuff. But aesthetically, it can look a little bit tired. So you're saying you guys are designing for, say, 25 to 30 years in a perfect world. So you're trying to pull trends that are as timeless as possible.
And that's just my preference.
Yeah.
I just tend
And
to
obviously,
lean
if a
towards-
client had a specific taste, you're not going to say no. So
I can say no.
okay, yeah, fair.
If I believe that they're making a true mistake,
You will?
I will 100%. I'm very
What's
honest.
an example?
Yeah.
What's something, you don't have to give addresses, but what's a design that someone's like, oh yeah, I love this thing. And you're like, no, we're not doing it.
I can't
Putting
think.
you on the spot.
100%. Well, actually, a good example is somebody wanted these tiny little tiles on the floor. She's got lots of dogs. She has a rescue. She's got kids. And it was going to be a nightmare. The grout, cleaning the grout, it was a complete nightmare in the making, and I had to steer her away. So I'll do it. I mean, another good example is the people that want black cabinetry. They want painted black cabinets.
Bold.
And it can look really good.
It can, yeah.
But I'll sometimes steer them away if they're smashy and they have kids that are thrashing into stuff. It shows its wear and tear a lot quicker than a lighter finish.
Right.
So it's, again, just talking to them and finding out, how is this kitchen going to be used? So
Finding a bit more about the actual family. And
but I'll steer them away. If it's a mistake and I think they're going to be unhappy, ultimately I will steer them away to something that is going to be better suited for them.
No, that's good.
That's a tough conversation to have. Like,
Yeah.
you look like someone who throws plates around. I don't think this is the right color of kitchen for you.
Well, and I think about it in my own life. I was like, I want a charcoal island. I wanted a dark grounding island.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went and had a baby right after.
Oh,
which
no.
was not a mistake, but it was like, ooh, didn't
For the
expect
island.
that. He rammed our island for like a good year with one of those little walking training carts,
yeah.
and he would just smash into it. So there's still like dings, and it's just a reminder.
Memories.
Somebody should have said, not if you're going to have another baby.
That makes sense.
But, our kitchen's 10 years old now, and we went timeless. I'm tired of it. Like, I'm bored. I'm seeing so many different things every day. I would like to change it. But really, people walk in and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. And it's like, it's 10 years old. You can't tell. It's worn very well, considering we're, again, a high pace family that comes in. I'm hard on things too, so. But it
You're a
looks
plate
good.
thrower.
Well,
I'm kidding.
Coming back
Smashing.
over to the trends, what materials or finishes are homeowners really gravitating towards? You mentioned like light aesthetic on cabinetry. Is there any other kind of trends in terms of materials or finishes?
I would say just layered looks, lots of texture, different layers of I would say a lot of people are not just sticking to one material. They're going to go with different color materials, different textures. I'm trying to give you an example, but
No.
polished countertops, maybe a little bit more of a matte finish on the backsplash.
Right.
And then textured layered lighting. So you're going to have pot lights, under task lighting on a dimmer, a little bit warmer, 2500K, things like that.
Okay, so these are things, man, you're getting high level here.
But it's true. Like I've seen this trend online. Great job, Vince. But like not having all the upper lights on. Like for a while, it was like you need task lighting, you need everything super bright, and now it's like okay, dim, some candles, just have things a little bit more calm.
It's all about the dim.
Yeah.
Lighting is very underrated in a kitchen,
Agreed.
and it's also at the very end of the project. So most people are broke by then, or they haven't budgeted accordingly because they haven't got the right kitchen designer or interior designer even. It's so important to start discussing that right off the bat. So how are you, cooking, cleaning, where do you bake? It's all very important stuff that we have to talk about initially, and then everything on a dimmer. You're going to want some focal points, and you're going to want some feature lighting. In your dining room or on your island, but you definitely need different layers and on different switches, sometimes motion. Some people like the kick lighting with the motion sensor.
Man, this is crazy.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, I can tell. What's one feature that homeowners should consider in their next kitchen renovation that they might not be thinking of?
Okay, sorry, say it again.
Oh, sorry. What one feature of a kitchen that homeowners should be considering in their next reno that they're maybe wouldn't have thought of?
I would say hidden appliances.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you can have a stainless steel, white, black, your typical finishes of appliances. We love using hidden away appliances, built-in appliances. So it has a cabinet panel on the front. Not only do you not have to clean the stainless steel, it just looks a little bit more continuous. There's just a little bit more flow in the millwork, and we even match the same hardware. So you actually can't or shouldn't be able to tell that that's a dishwasher or even a fridge. It'll look like a pantry.
Right.
So hiding things away. And then another one that you would think would be the most important, but everyone forgets, is a recycling, like dedicated recycling pullout.
Oh, that's a great one.
So there's a few out there that we love to use that are double recycling. They have a couple of compost bins. They have a recycling side. It's very organized, and we just love it. They pull out, you drop everything in, you close it. So nice.
Yeah, those are good.
I'm actually picturing right now. So we have a newly renovated kitchen at home, and we have this ugly compost bin that just sits on the countertop. And now every time I see it, I'm going to think, designer.
If only
Where was
Alex
the
was there.
designer?
Where
That's
was
right.
Alex?
Yeah, my favorite one that it would be the water spout over the stove.
Oh, the
Pot filler.
Yeah, I'm really jealous of all my friends that have pot fillers.
Second dishwasher.
Heard some people are
Wait, really?
into that.
Is that
Oh,
something
yeah.
you never have to unload?
Well-
You just transfer.
If we're honest.
Constantly going. Yeah. Just function, like accessories, getting dedicated cleaning, baking, cooking stations.
Yeah.
So everything's pull out, pantry, oil pullouts. There's some pretty cool stuff. We use a few different suppliers that we actually send the client shopping to online, and they can send us a wish list. Or if they want, we'll just send them what they want,
That makes sense.
what they think they want.
I have one question just to go a little bit back into the weeds, but we were talking about paneled appliances. And one of the things that I hear with newer appliances is like you don't repair them, you just throw them out. It's really sad. But like a lot of times my appliance guy, he'll be like, oh yeah, it's that make. Oh, just throw it out. In one of my rental properties, every time I call him, he's like, I don't know why you call me anymore. I don't know why you call me anymore. Just throw your appliance out and get a new one. And it's really sad. So when you've got panel front appliances, is it typically a higher price point? Is it appliances that are more easier to maintain and repair rather than replace? What happens if that 3-year-old fridge does pack it in? Do you just find another panel front, and are they mostly compatible? This is, again, getting right into the weeds, but I'm just curious.
Really good. I mean, wow, you really want to get into it.
Let's go there.
Let's go. Okay, so there's a different level of appliances. You're going to have your basic entry appliance that can be panel ready. I don't really want to say brands, but I'm going to. But very good appliances that are affordable, that are panel ready, is Bosch. They do a great dishwasher. It's panel ready. I wouldn't be able to give you an amount of time, 10 plus years. I would say if it crashes out in 5 years, you're going to want to get it repaired. We're really against throwing things in the landfill. If at all possible, we try and repurpose things. When you're starting to get up to the Fisher Paykel's, the Sub-Zero Wolf, those appliances, they're going to be lifetime. you're never going to replace a Sub-Zero. You're going to repair it. They'll never discontinue the parts. They will always make a Sub-Zero fixable, which is why you're investing that much more money.
Right.
So it's important to invest. We always say dishwasher's number one because it's got electrical, it's got water, steam, it's got all the environment for an accident to happen or
and
damage.
One of the number one sources of insurance claims are dishwashers that are poorly installed or just fail.
Well, that's normally when we come in, someone's had like a leak. Their dishwasher
so they're good
is
for
leaking.
business.
They're great, but we don't want it. But most renos start with, they kind of snowball. Like a fridge will leak, it'll damage a little bit of the floor. Well, the floor is getting removed, so we have to redo the baseboard. So let's just replace the island. But if we're replacing the island, it's not going to go with the perimeter. So let's do the perimeter. And if we're doing that appliance, we have to switch this one because the handles don't match. And then we're doing countertops because the new millwork. And then it just really snowballs. Yeah.
So spend the money on a good dishwasher and you'll save an entire
100%. You have to, again, have the budget and allocate the right amount of funds for the most important pieces. So lighting, dishwasher, faucet. And these are all things that we would go through the client to make sure that they get exactly, what they want at the end of the day. And that their money goes the full distance of the reno, not just, we don't suggest just pouring all the money into millwork. We want to stretch it out for the whole reno so that they can actually enjoy it. As intended.
Fully done kitchen.
Yeah.
Kind of getting into design and the real estate kind of side of things. From a design perspective, what renovations do you think actually add the most value to a home?
Well, that's easy.
Kitchen, bathrooms.
But honestly, next, just custom storage in general. People are wanting more storage. I don't know if we're buying more stuff.
Oh, interesting.
But it's custom pantries. Everybody's, I feel like, is just getting a little bit more organized in their lives, so they want more storage.
Well, that ties into a trend across North America for commercial real estate. The fastest growing commercial real estate segment is self-storage. And Victoria, for people that drive around and are thinking about self-storage, we have quite a few new self-storage facilities that are popping up. Mm-hmm. And it got to be so bad that the city of Victoria said, we actually don't want any more self-storage facilities to be built because they're not actually creating jobs. So we're giving up valuable industrial land for storage, and it's not actually a net employer. Total digression, but it just points to this idea that we have too much stuff across North America.
Fun fact. See, I'm learning now too.
Yeah, perfect. Sharing the knowledge. So if someone has like a limited renovation budget, maybe they don't have that $80,000 for the full reno, but they maybe want to refresh their space a little bit with a smaller budget. Do you have any advice on where they should maybe focus first when it comes to, I guess, value or design and everything like that?
I would say, again, kitchens probably is going to be where you're going to want to spend the money if it's outdated. Yeah. But you don't necessarily have to do the full project. It doesn't have to be a full-blown reno. You can do countertops and just do a facelift, like a little bit of a makeup job. And hardware, you can redo the backsplash. Even just updating the light fixtures. When you first walk in, if you just kind of upscale the lighting a little bit, you'll walk in and it'll feel a lot more updated. And then obviously paint is the cheapest way to do. Okay. It's something not kitchen related though, curb appeal. I think it's so underrated when you have good landscape, even just clean and tidy. It doesn't have to be fancy. Mm-hmm. But just having good curb appeal in general, I think just sets the tone for when you first walk into the house.
Definitely. I agree with that big time.
Did you disagree with me on other things?
No.
Okay.
I promise I did. Are there design choices that you think can actually hurt resale value if people aren't careful?
I would say going too custom, too bold. There's some looks and designs that are, streamlined, no uppers and things like that. I think the average customer walking into a home sees less storage, they're going to steer away. Even though it's easy to add, again, they're kind of not narrow-minded, but they don't know the options. So they're going to say, well, this kitchen had no storage, even though it's very easy to add storage. So I think just going too custom, too unique, and then obviously too bold in some is.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Now, you actually work with realtors, obviously, quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Now, realtors often work with clients preparing homes for sale or planning renovations after purchase. Where do you come in? How can designers and realtors kind of work better together? I know there is
sooner than later.
Yeah.
yeah, we again help you, but we ultimately want to help the client feel comfortable in their purchase. So we can help clear out spaces, tell people exactly how to stage it, what colors to paint for better resale, and help visualizing the space. So one service that we do offer some realtors, the nice ones, just kidding, is we will go in and even just taking a photo off of the listing and getting some rough dimensions from the floor plan, we can create a visualization of what the space could look like. So that your client can feel like, oh, it's actually doable. Along with that, we will give them a ballpark. So we can say, you know, this renovation could cost about $100,000 or $150,000, whereas maybe they were scared and maybe they thought it was going to be $500,000.
Right.
So we can help visualize the space of the full potential of the space.
Right. So realtors, if you have a listing with a not so nice looking kitchen,
But you're nice.
you're nice. You have to
be nice.
Alex will not work with the meanies.
Can I guess you stage that photo and give an estimated price that can potentially help with potentially selling that property as well?
You can even add it in the listing too.
Yeah.
You can say this is like a visual. I think you probably would just mention that
You
it's
have
a
to
rendering.
obviously disclaimer.
100%.
Right? You know,
Yeah.
People are going to buy it sight unseen and be like, "Where's my beautifully renovated kitchen?"
This doesn't look like the photos. Yes. And just again, consulting with the clients. If they're like, is this even possible? I'm not going to tell them if a was load bearing, but I can give them some kind of guidelines of it most likely is. Obviously, we would get an engineer in at that point, but it definitely helps. We do that quite often.
Awesome, sweet.
And then we'll turn them away if we hear like this is a no-go zone. This is a headache.
Yeah.
We'll advise transparency and
that's good as well.
be honest with them. So.
Now, kind of getting into your entrepreneurship journey and building a business, what advice would you give someone thinking about starting their own business from your experiences?
Gosh, that's a good one. I would say to focus on one thing and do that the best that you can.
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
Like I say there's like I said, I can do your ceilings and I can paint and I can do the plumbing and I can do the fixtures and pick all your flooring and pick everything and do your landscape.
Right.
I don't feel like I would be able to do it all really, really well.
Right.
So we're focusing on kitchens, or not kitchens, but cabinetry and countertops. That's our focus.
That's your
niche.
Pick a niche.
So we're specializing in that and we know a lot about it.
Yeah.
And we're constantly learning about that and moving forward, educating ourselves. But I think if somebody is starting a business and they want to do too many things, I'm going to sell furniture and I'm going to sell this and I'm going to do that. I think it just is too thin. I've tried it. I've done it in the past. And it ultimately leads to burnout.
Yeah. So saying good, lots of things, master of none or something?
Oh, jack of all trades, master of none.
There it is. Yeah. Thanks, Vince. Vince is the number one slogan.
I'm the quote guy.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that botches every quote. My husband always laughs at me because I'll say it completely wrong.
Have you seen Trailer Park Boys?
Maybe.
Okay. Do you remember there's Ricky, the guy who's always butchering sayings?
Yeah.
Get two birds stoned at once.
Yes.
Like just some
I'm
really
Ricky.
good ones. Yeah, it's funny.
And what would you say has been the most rewarding part of building Alexandra Graham Interiors?
I would say probably the time freedom, more time with the family, again, less stress, just more opportunities too. Yeah.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. And as your company grows, you've talked about wanting to, I guess, give back to local causes. Can you talk a little bit about what you do there and that's important to you?
Well, there's a lot of people struggling in our own communities. Kids not getting food for breakfast, healthy lunches, things like that. And we see it in our own kids' community and their friends. And so we've always wanted to be able to give back. Weren't really able to financially, and now we are finally able to give back. And so we think it's really important to encourage these different organizations that are put together that do give back to specifically our community. We like to serve the West Shore, which is where we're at.
Yeah, makes sense. And then last kind of story what's been the most memorable project, good or bad, I guess, that you've worked on in your career so far?
That's tough because there's been so many. The one that I'm thinking is most recent would be a good friend of mine came to me and said, I found my dream location. I don't love the house though. It was 1940s, a little bit older, very outdated, but gorgeous corner lot, beautiful in Bay. And I knew it was her dream location. She said the house is closed off, the kitchen's tight, there's no function, there's poor layouts. And she said, I just don't know what to do. And she wants to buy her forever home.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll come by. So I met the real estate agent. She let me in. on like this dark rainy day, and it was like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. And I walked in, and I have the ability with this weird brain of mine to go in and just see it completely done.
Yeah.
Already.
That's a talent.
And so
I cannot do that.
I don't know if it's a talent or a curse.
Yeah.
But I walked in and I was just like, if this wall could be taken down and this staircase could be opened up and we widen this doorway and rip the cheap laminate flooring up, which we found beautiful original hardwoods. It was like an older character style home. And I said, you have to do it. You have to do it. And so I kind of painted the picture. I did throw it into the program really quick, just sketch, and rendered it into a beautiful 3D perspective and showed her. We opened it up. We extended the kitchen into the dining room, created a whole new dining room, added an island, and, you know, again, layered lighting, and it's literally a dream kitchen. And she's obsessed with the home. So she just about walked away. She was losing sleep. And this is someone that's like very confident, and is actually a retired interior designer. So she knew, but I think just, you know, it was so special. And then to see them now grow into that house and be able to live there for a very long time happy, it just makes me feel so nice.
That's awesome.
I really did not see the story going that way. I thought you'd be like, it was a dark and stormy night. I told her to run, and she thanks me all the time for dodging that. But no, you actually had the vision when everyone around didn't have the vision.
Yeah, I want to see pictures of this place.
It's actually gorgeous. It is coming out soon. We haven't photographed it yet, but we're waiting to. And it's beautiful. And we did go a little custom, and because that is their forever home. So beautiful finishes, really unique pieces. But the other thing I wanted to say that stands out for me is like every job, every single time. I mean, I've done this for 18 years, and still to this day, if I walk in, we had a delivery yesterday, when I see the new cabinetry arrive and I see the joy that it brings the clients, and they're looking in the drawers like, all this storage, it literally just gives me the warm fuzzies every single time. When I walk into a completed kitchen that Tommy's just wrapping up, I was like, wow, this is exactly how I envisioned it. It's such a neat thing. Like, every single job, no matter the budget or the size, it's always a good feeling at the very end. Always that same warm feeling.
You can tell that you love your job a little bit. Alex, that's up all my hard-hitting questions. Do you have a time for a couple of fun ones?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, number one, if you could redesign any famous home or building, what would it be?
Oh, man.
We don't usually ask this one to everybody. This one I just made specifically for you.
Okay, well, it wouldn't be famous.
Okay, that's fine.
But there's something that I really don't like is when there's builder grade homes and they put in low quality kitchens.
Yeah.
And that sounds like boring, but what happens is people call me, we replace it, and a lot of the times it's so poor manufactured that we have to put it in the landfill, or it goes into like a basement or a garage. It's not even functional.
Right.
That's very upsetting because they've already paid for the kitchen within the build, and now they're replacing it. So they're rebuying it, redoing the plumbing, everything. And it just is wasteful. The quality's poor. So I wish that builders, not builders, but a lot of builders would use a higher quality product in these, spec homes so that people could really get that same experience of enjoying a beautiful, high quality kitchen with function.
What way that someone's walking through one of these spec homes that they can point out these low quality kitchens? Like,
are they going to buy the house or the spec house?
No, just say they're walking through a spec home. How can they tell the difference between a kitchen that's done nicely and good materials versus one that does not? Like,
bring your kitchen designer with you.
Okay, not everyone can
for every
do that.
showing.
Everything.
Every showing.
I think everybody just needs a kitchen designer in their back pocket.
Yeah.
Well, there's little hints, like you can see if the glue is expelling from the front of the door. It's a laminate. If it's too thin, you can start to see it. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. If you're looking at a PVC kitchen, you can look underneath, and if it's melted or warped, you know that it's poor quality thermofoil, so it's going to melt or
warp and stuff.
Warp. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would say you just have to go slower.
Yeah.
Because it'll look really nice.
Exactly.
They look
That's
amazing.
Like in the photo
and it's
listing.
same when clients are buying houses. The first couple times you're like, oh, I loved it, and then you get the keys and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't notice all this caulking or all these, things that look pretty on a photo. So I always say go slow. and go multiple times. I'm that annoying person that will tell your clients, get back in, see it again.
Well, it's like $1 million decision. So yeah, you
minimum.
should. Yeah.
We're in Victoria.
Yeah, exactly. That's interesting.
Awesome. Dream place on Vancouver Island for a custom build project for yourself. Yeah.
I mean, I love Metchosin. We're so close to Metchosin, so I do like the area. I would say higher up up for something, or my heart is still on Quadra Island. So I would love to do a beautiful, like a ranch or something really simple, basic, no stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little maybe vacation property for the future.
Yeah.
Number 3, what are you binge watching right now or recently? Anything embarrassing?
It doesn't have to be. It could just be.
Can I plead the fifth?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm kind of, everyone's like, you must watch so many design shows. I really don't. I think they drive me nuts because they set out unrealistic expectations. I'm a sucker for trash TV, like reality shows.
Yeah.
I'm so bad because I'll do it while I'm on the treadmill. I don't sit and watch TV normally. And then usually now, I mean, I have a teenager, so whatever she puts on, I kind of have to watch. So I think right now it's The Rookie.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the worst thing.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's kind of bad, but they love it. So good.
Yep.
My guilty pleasure.
Number 4, something you have purchased recently or in recent memory for under $1,500 that has changed your life.
Oof. Okay. This isn't tangible.
Okay.
But my husband and I did metabolic rebalance about 1.5 years ago. And it's just a blood test, and they send your blood to Europe, and they basically put together an entire meal plan and what you should and should avoid and shouldn't for food, and it makes your body completely optimized. So it reduces inflammation.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
I know. We hadn't either, and I was complaining to my client who does that for a living, and I was complaining about inflammation, and I was having some health issues and just feeling crummy after traveling. And she said, you should just try this. And I was like, it's a good investment. It was like $1,200 or something each. And I thought, so we waited, and summer went by, and then fall, I was like, okay, my body is like screaming for some help. And so we did the blood test, and like within like 3 or 4 days, we had a full meal plan. And it's like they give you booklets and lists, shopping lists, sample meals. And essentially you're eating, it's like protein and veggies, but you're weighing your protein, because for me, I wasn't eating enough protein. And so I was eating lots of salads and salmon, but I wasn't eating enough protein. Once we added the protein in and did all the things that she'd asked you to do, 2 bites of protein first, things like that, the inflammation just like literally went away within weeks. We ended up losing quite a bit of pounds and felt good, lots of energy, more clarity. Yeah. And it also encouraged us to stop drinking. And so we've been sober since then, which has been kind of cool. So
awesome.
Feeling really good. So definitely a life changer.
Yeah.
Can we actually shout out where someone could find out more information about that? Because that sounds really interesting.
Okay, so it's from Tall Tree, but I don't know if they still do it. But it was Tall Tree, Cordova, and Monica was my girl. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. She's like a healer, and she's just so invested, and she wants you to send pictures. I don't think she's doing it anymore, but it is a thing. You can see there's lots of people that are certified.
And what's it called? It's a
metabolic balance. There's an app, and it's not like they're not trying to sell you anything. It's actually pretty legit. It's nice. Cool. And they go off your blood work, not the fads or anything like that. So Tommy and I's plans were both quite different.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Alexandra, that's great. We're finished. You did it.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you have fun? I had fun too. It was great.
For any people that want to like find out more about your work or get in touch with you, or they really need a new kitchen, is there any info you'd like to leave behind, or how can they get in touch with you?
Well, we've got a website, alexandragraham.ca, and that can lead you to my email. We've got Instagram, phone number, text, email. There's lots of ways you can find us.
And I'm looking at it right now. It's a really nice website, and it showcases some really, really projects. So it's worth a look.
You post all of your projects on here, right?
We post a few. There's
okay.
there's lots on there, but we don't photograph every single project. Unfortunately, we can't. There's just so many.
Right.
But we do feature quite a few. We try and photograph the ones that aren't the white shaker, everything. So we like to switch it up. But yeah, we have slowly put together our portfolio.
Yeah, actually, I saw some black cabinets on there.
They don't have kids and they don't have dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up the podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow us at Victoria Real Estate Podcast on Instagram for more conversations about real estate, housing, and the people shaping our industry. If you're enjoying the podcast, we really appreciate a review on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you're listening. Thanks for listening to Victoria Real Estate Podcast. Vince, how can people get in touch?
I'm really digging LinkedIn, so please look me up on LinkedIn. Let's connect, and we'll talk about the weather on LinkedIn.
Awesome. And you can reach out to me, Adrian, on Instagram at Adrian Real Estate Victoria, or call or text me at 250-464-4122. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.